Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Sweet and Savory. Wait, I'm wearing the wrong shirt. Just 1 second there. Ah! That's not it. Phew, that's better. Sorry y'all had to see that. Now, let's get to today's episode, Marinara sauce. So, to start off with this sauce, we're going to need some Italian staples. A couple cloves of garlic, and an onion. Start by peeling the garlic, which I always find easiest to do after a little crush. Next, you gotta slice the garlic as thin as you can, without bleeding everywhere, of course. You don't need to be perfect. Just slice those suckers up and get ready to go to work. Because now comes the fun part. Holding the knife like so, just chop the absolute shit out of it. Chop that garlic until it's absolutely minced. And for best results, keep the tip of the knife on the cutting board and rock it back and forth, making multiple passes over the garlic to ensure no chunks are left behind. After a bunch of passes, and when it's sufficiently small for you, deposit it into an adorably small bowl. Now, get the tissues ready, cause it's ogre time. I mean onion time. Start by removing the tip and root of the onion before cutting it in half root to tip. Next, make cuts lengthwise down the onion, making sure to leave yourself a little nubbin at the end to keep it all together. Then, run your knife through the center of the onion, again making sure to leave the nubbin. The next part is real simple. Just slice it to pieces before doing the same thing to the other half until you have one fully minced onion. Now, moving on over to the stovetop, let's start on that sauce. Heat up a saucepan on medium-low heat and add a couple healthy gloves of olive oil. When everything is nice and hot, add your onion and saute until it just starts to become translucent and pick up a little bit of color. Usually about 3 to 5 minutes. Make some room in the middle of the pan and add a couple tablespoons of tomato paste, then some oregano, basil, and red pepper flakes. Saute all of this together until it's deliciously fragrant, and then you want to throw in the garlic and cook that for about 30 more seconds until that garlic becomes fragrant as well. Now it's time for the main event, the tomatoes. Specifically, 1 can of whole San Marzano tomatoes, which then need to be mashed to your desired consistency. When you're done mashing and smashing, add about half a can of water, and I know it might sound weird, but a carrot that's been chopped into large pieces. This will actually significantly reduce the acidity and bitterness of your sauce. Now, all that's left to do is give the sauce a good mix and let it simmer on medium-low heat for 45 minutes to an hour. When the sauce is almost done, give it a taste, making sure to get second opinions from your cameraman/co-host. And season accordingly with salt and pepper to taste, of course. When the sauce is finished reducing, and you can now scrape a spoon through and leave a very clear path, dump in about a half pound of pasta, cooked very al dente. Now frustratingly realize that you completely forgot to take out the pieces of carrot before adding the pasta. When you get all the pieces of carrot out, let the pasta finish cooking for about 3 to 4 more minutes before removing from the heat and getting it ready for final plating. Now that everything's pretty much done, just give your pasta a few final mixes before transferring over to your bowl. Which is somehow harder than it seems? And make sure to top with the culturally required mountain of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Like a lot of cheese. No, like a lot. I really like Parm. Just give it a few customary fork misses, maybe a twirl or two, and it's finally time to taste the product of your labor. And this sauce is sure to make your Nona proud. It might not be simmered for hours and hours, but if you only have an hour or so, this is an absolutely delicious substitute. If you'll excuse me, I need to go honor my Italian heritage by absolutely annihilating this pasta.